Spawning fleets. Finishing nameplates. Who will win this one, guys? Who will win this one? Get your predictions in. Will the two BBs ruin the battlefield for the enemy once more? Or will the missiles, the sneaky light and heavy cruisers, be more successful this time around? As we are on a pretty different map this time. Lovely purple light in the rear. And a good amount of rocks floating in space here. Who will be successful on this one? Good action coming in. Avalon and Underwater, also known as Three Cats in a Trench Coat, versus on the other side. Oh, I also have to switch up the team names. Come around. Taylor students versus back again. In the Creek sector, in the Luther system. And we are in. So, blue team on the left side. Let's have a look on these heavy cruisers. Heavy cruiser coming in when it comes to the missiles with a couple of tier 3 two-stage missiles. So long-range missiles with a slow first stage and then for the final stage a quick booster once more to speed up and hit the enemy fast in the terminal stage. And then a light cruiser with a lot of missiles, with a lot of different missiles as well. A lot of long-range missiles of tier 3 as well. And then good amount of tier 2 missiles. 36 tier 2 and 22 stage 3 missiles. If I made math, no, 24 stage 3 missiles. And then a decent amount of defensive weaponry on board as well. As you can see though, nothing on this ship shoots any standard guns. No, neither defensive, no point defenses, nor any long-range guns. So when it comes to barrels, the other side is way better prepared with 8 barrels and a beam on the big boy, the Dawnbringer, and even more, 11 barrels on the Slide of Lionel. And 11 barrels, that is a lot of damage coming your way. So when it comes to barrels, it's 5 versus 19. That's not a gun duel you're gonna win. Not even taking the armor and hit points of the battleships versus the light cruiser and heavy cruiser on the other side into account. Okay. Missiles already out. That is interesting. As these T2 missiles are flying towards the D point. As red team's corvettes are faster at the capture points than the enemies. But both teams fine with taking 2 positions at the beginning. Question is, can these missiles already do some harm here? They're trying to fight the Tempest Eagle. Tempest Eagle not having any point defenses here to speak of. And that might already be the end of the first ship, if these can go onto target. But they seem to... Oh no, it was actually not the... Well, actually the Freddy P. Landsman that got hit over here. Not the Tempest Eagle that was the target of these missiles. Though the missiles are still flying on. Can they find this target? Oh no! Oh, this is really, really bad here for the red team. As the Jester missiles are finding another target here as well. Oh, this is really, really rough. The ship is still alive. Tier 2 missiles here, not having this... Oh, as I say that, actually... Scratch that. ship dead as well. And that is a hefty first blood here for the red team. These missiles were really successful. So at the same time, the heavy cruiser here, already under fire. 19 shells every couple of seconds flying into its direction. It has to get into cover quickly here, otherwise this might end pretty bloody pretty fast, as it's only returning with 3 guns of its own. So that salvo already doing a good amount of damage to this heavy cruiser as well. The red team not giving up the fight that quickly, as the blue team tries to jam them into submission here. Tries to keep these ships as blind as possible, as the light cruiser stays behind the rock. And with the kill onto the Freddy P. Landsman, the D point capturing got stopped as well. So blue team currently with the point advantage, and that was really, really good first blood here. Meanwhile, the temporary rain under fire by some battleship guns here as well. So a lot of fire coming out from the get-go here on this map. Temporary rain taking a couple of hits. Good amount of over-penetration involved here though. So the damage it receives is not critical just yet. 150 centimeter guns, not quite as great at dealing with those kind of ships as the Mark 68, so Mark 66. Keep around. The stack once more on the hunt here, as it is a pretty good weapon. The Landsman loss though is pretty big, but its brethren is stronger. The stack is the one that you really want to keep alive, because that is the one that also can kill other corvettes. For example, the bolt suit over there, as it has the missiles to do so, and it has a small gun that can pepper them as well. Bolt suit spotted by the battleships, under heavy fire by them as well. And one of them, the Slide of Lionel, gets its 11 guns into this direction, and this ship has to run for cover. But I fear that might already be too late here, as the rate of fire on that battleship is also really, really great. A lot of reloaders must be installed on it. For now, they missed their target quite a bit though, but a missile of the stack doesn't miss its target. Good hit there. And that leaves this ship relatively dead in the water, as its bridge is under heavy fire as well. And now it's going critical, as this Slide of Lionel is now hitting really, really well. Found a good aim now. And this ship is going to go down. Dead in the water now. So it's 2 versus 1 corvettes down. The first stage 3 missiles on the way. Sunburn Block 2. Trying to get in. Question is, will they be able to get through the point defenses? No. Both of them will be stopped. Point defense systems functional on the side of the battleships. Stack capturing the B point. So both sides will have 2 points for now. It's the heavy cruiser though tries to get a line of sight onto the stack, so the stack has to run for cover now. Doesn't want to get hit by the 5 guns on this ship. Stack has to dash out of there as quick as possible. Moving slowly away once more. Once we have a lot of missiles coming in here. The SGM shipwreckers coming in quickly. Coming in good numbers. And that might be it for the Dawnbringer. Ah, a couple of hits coming in. That's a good amount of hits here. That battleship took some serious damage now. And more shipwrecker missiles coming in. This Slide of Lionel faring better, but getting a couple of hits as well. How many missiles are left on the other side? Still a good amount of missiles here left on board of these ships. Still 21 missiles on this one. And 15 more on the heavy cruiser over here. The Cozy Ghost and the Artemis. So the battleships can't take many more of these salvos. One or two more, and that might be the end of it. The position for these battleships currently not amazing, but the third position gets captured here as well. And then they might be able to just keep their distance. A really, really good one. Really, really good game here. Both sides maneuvering, trying to get a tactical advantage here. And having the 3 points now is obviously quite nice. Having triple the speed when it comes to ticking up. Missiles trying to go for the Cozy Ghost, but the point defense on board of this ship are too good. And now one stage 3, tier 3 two-stage missile is trying to get the stack. Runs into the asteroid though, as the stack is just getting behind the rock in time. Great maneuvering there on the captain from the captain on this ship. And the red team is about to overtake the blue team in ticks. So with only 4 stage points on this map, you don't take up quite as quickly as on the previous maps. So games can last a bit longer. Question is, will the ships last that long here in this one? Temporary rain coming into position. Artemis sitting around here, getting ready to maneuver for further. The rivals stay in a good spot. Has a couple of ship sunburn missiles as well. So yes, the amount of stage 3 missiles here on these ships is really, really dangerous. The battleships on the other side really have to keep their distance now so that their point defenses can get to work when they come in. They don't want to get surprised. But with the 3 flags in position of the red team can force the blues to come towards them now, which is the position they want to be in. So really good maneuvering with the Iron Ruination and the stack after the painful loss of the Freddy P. Landsman and the Tempest Eagle at the beginning of the game. Heavy cruiser once more under fire here by the 2 battleships. So has to dash for cover here most likely in a second. Trying to take out the stack, but being under fire by 19 guns right now, this battleship doesn't want to be here. And I don't think it can get into cover quickly enough here, or it takes critical damage. Still has to... might get out of line of sight of the Slide of Lionel quickly, but the Dawnbringer should have a shot on to it for quite a while. At the same time though, the shipwreckers are loose once more, and in really, really insane amount of numbers here. A lot of them flying around, trying to dash for the Slide of Lionel. The point defense is desperately trying to get the best of them, but the Slide of Lionel taking a bit more damage here. A good amount of hits though on at least half of the missile salvo being taken out before it can hit its target. Down here, these are not quite as scary. Slower and less deadly. These gesture missiles are coming up. Point defenses will have a bit more time to deal with these, and it seems like the point defense is up to its business there. So far the gesture getting also baited by the active decoys. Point defenses having good amount of time to take them all out one by one. So that missile swarm got dealt with. And at the same time, how is the heavy cruiser looking? Heavy cruiser still out here. A lot of damage to the forward part of the ship. The front of the ship took heavy damage, but most of the systems are still alive, at least. A good amount of thrusters being dead, so the rotation of the ship might be a bit rougher now, and the ammunition elevators have been hit. Could be repaired, but I don't think they're worthwhile repairing. You're not gonna win this game with a gun duel anyways, so should focus on keeping your missiles ready to go instead of repairing the gun elevators. That's the stack on the other side. Got a bit of damage as well, but is still alive once more. The heavy cruiser not able to get to B, and that's the most important part. The battleships kept the ship out of B for now, but not receiving too much damage themselves this time around. Repair team still running around, still 4 restores remaining. If the DC locker down here gets repaired, they might get one more. 1 or 2 more. DC Central should get repaired as well. Unless this ship has... Oh no, this ship has 2 DC Centrals. Okay. Which makes sense. As you... If your DCs... All your DCs are taken out, you are in a rough position. So having 2 bridges, basically, to control your ship, of which you can lose 1, is pretty good play. And red is getting ahead in points. Blue has to do something about that. But the missile salvos not getting through anymore. And the battleships can position themselves better and better to cover the flags here. Blue maybe should try to go for the C point, but the stack's capability of taking out enemy corvettes with its own missiles and with its gun is really, really helpful in that one. As you can't send, for example, the temporary rain or the viral stay there easily. I mean, the viral stay can defend itself with its tier 3 missiles and could take out the stack, so the stack can't really take that fight easily, but still can do some harm there for sure. Meanwhile, the heavy cruiser once more... sorry. The heavy cruiser once more firing around here. Getting shot off by the Dawnbringer. Missiles out here now. The Cyberplock missiles out for the Dawnbringer. Can the Dawnbringer's point defenses do this? As the battleships are not in line of sight of each other anymore. They don't help each other out with their point defenses. Dawnbringer, though, trying to dodge behind an asteroid, and that might work out. Can these missiles follow it there? Or will they run into the asteroid here now? Really clutch play. When do they go on terminal, and what happens then? They might get shut down before they can go into the terminal phase. And that seems to be the case. Yes, all the missiles down already. Good play here with the Dawnbringer, as the red team is still in control of 3 zones. Really, really good play there. Using the asteroids really, really well. As the shipwreckers plug for... Try to get around for it once more, but I don't think that will have any more success than the first time around. I don't see why they should be faring better against the point defenses than last time. Point defense getting onto them quickly. Once more taking them out before they go into the terminal phase. And there they are really vulnerable. Once they're speeding up, the enemy point defenses will have a tough time catching them. But before that, they're easily taken out. And red team's advantage by now is significant. At the same time, the Cozy Ghost now is trying to kill the stack, and the stack shot all its missiles, didn't get any significant amount of hits out of them. So, in the end, blue will be able to eliminate one more of red's corvettes over here. We'll leave red down with only 1 corvette. That one still trying to dodge around here. As this, yeah, the stack got taken out now. Missiles fired upon it. Maybe a bit overkill, but better safe than sorry. And that might allow the blue team to come around for the C point. So the battleships are really in a good spot to cover entrances to all 4 zones right now. And they're in a nice spot when it comes to being able to dodge away from missiles as well. So, really well played here by the red team. Especially after that terrible, terrible start. So, this is an interesting final. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do, because I'm absolutely hyped with what is going on here. I want to see how blue is trying to approach this now. They have the advantage in ships, 5 versus 3 in numbers. They still have a good amount of missiles, so the light cruiser has used up all its gesture missiles now. Still, or not all, but quite a few of them. It still has a good amount of...
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Seems to have a good amount as well. 6 more. And if they can take out one of the battleships, they most likely can outmaneuver the other one. D-point now getting captured by the rival state. That one also still having a good amount of extra missiles here. 13 more shipwreckers on target for this one. Can that get them out before it gets killed off here, as the beams and the guns here are on top of it. And it's not losing its missiles just yet. Trying to get them out, but it didn't get them to fire before the guns of the Dawnbringer were on top of it. Out microed here, and losing the rival stay is a terrible loss. Especially before it can capture the D-point, as Red's advantage in point capturing is still going on here. And now it's only 4 versus 3, and 2 of the 3 are big boy battleships. And especially losing the 18 missiles on top of this, not getting any of the missiles onto target here is maybe the biggest of the losses here right now. At the same time, ship over here tries to maneuver into C point, but the Dawnbringer maneuvering really, really well, trying to get into a position where it can stop the enemy from entering C point as well. Can the Cozy Ghost come around? Obviously with stage 3 missiles you never know what happens. If they get through and can do the damage, then this might turn around quite quickly. 6 missiles on the heavy cruiser here, for example, can do their job. And they should try to do so now. And this might be a completely different story. But if this battlecruiser here gets taken out without getting critical damage onto the Dawnbringer, this might be it. Dawnbringer not looking super hot here, to be quite frank. Like, the damage here is significant, but it's still for sure capable to fight on. And the Cozy Ghost not using its missiles here is a big mistake in my eyes. As you kind of have to try. This ship won't survive for much longer, and especially as you try to time it with these... Oh no! And once more, 2 missiles hitting the rock here. Once more well positioned with the Dawnbringer. A bit overeager there with those missiles, and every missile now is worth so much. And the heavy cruiser here can't take that damage for much longer. And it can't lose its missiles anymore, maybe. Not sure why they're not firing, but I guess there might be an issue with the plotting, its seekers. Maybe they are... I'm not sure what the guidance system for them is, but maybe the guidance system is not supported anymore, as now the beams and the guns are on target, and this heavy cruiser is going to die here. Blue team got to capture 3 of the flags again, but I'm not 100% sure how they're supposed to defend them. Not having any gunships anymore is an issue. Ludo at least getting 3 flags here with the sacrifice of the Cozy Ghost. Yeah, not getting the missiles out is terrible, terrible damage. Dawnbringer now closing in here. And that maneuvering with the 2 battleships of the red team, really impressive. At the same time now, a temporary rain also under heavy fire from the 11 guns over here of Nott's last remaining ship, the Slide of Lionel. Trying to get on target. And the Cozy Ghost just not getting out its missiles. Cozy Ghost under heavy fire. The light cruiser really needs to make its missiles work now. But down to only 5 stage 3 missiles. So I'm not sure it is capable of achieving that. Because the Iron Ruination also is now trying to go for the A point. And the 2 battleships are capable of zoning too much of the map here to really allow any of the other ships to come around. We still have 2 more stage 3 missiles on this ship here as well. But yeah, the heavy cruiser desperately trying to dash away here. Its engine heavily damaged though, down to only 13 meters per second. The battleship is going with 24. Ooh! It actually got its missiles back online though. Can they do it? They are instantly going into terminal stage. And they're actually landing hits. Was it all a ruse all along? Oh my god. 3 good hits here. 3 more remaining. All of these missiles did hit their target. And that is really, really dangerous damage. The damage control is on it though. The reactor not critical. But if the other 3 missiles can do this once more, this ship is maybe dead. 3 more of such hits, I don't think the Dawnbringer can take them. Is that the comeback? Is the Cozy Ghost, with its last remaining crew, with its last remaining systems, able to do this once more? Oh my god, I didn't expect that comeback. And I don't think Blacklight did either. Expecting the Cozy Ghost to be out of weapon systems. So getting hit there 3 times by big missiles must have surprised our player here as well. Citadel getting repaired. That would have fallen, that would have been really, really dangerous. But at the same time, all the points are now getting captured by the red team. Even in the center, the battleship, Slide of Lionel, is moving in. Get the capture done. Cozy Ghost maneuvering around. One more such a salvo would be absolutely phenomenal, but it has to be careful. If it moves too far out here, it might get hit from the other side. At the same time, gesture missiles trying to hit the battleship in the middle one more time. Will be supported by the missiles. The Sunburn Block 2. Oh, it's actually going for the Iron Ruination. Okay, that ship is dead. That ship should be really, really dead. Its brethren's had fallen to the same type of missiles. This is also a heavy overkill here. Gesture missiles. 2 of these, or 3 of these would have been enough. It's a big, big overkill. But all 4 flags over here now captured. Can the Cozy Ghost get the Dawnbringer? Obviously, there is still the stage 3 missiles. If the last remaining here can assemble 4 salvo onto the Slide of Lionel, if both battleships can get killed off here in time, this might be turning around. Interesting game here. But yeah, the gesture missiles were a bit too many onto this one. Yeah. Could have been 3 less, and then he could have maybe tried to overwhelm Slide of Lionel with those guys. And can the Cozy Ghost do it once more? That would be really impressive. Oh! But it's under fire. And it doesn't want to be under fire. Dawnbringer now can't chill out. I don't know why the other 3 missiles haven't been fired. Not sure if the reload really takes that long. I'm not too certain why they never... What the idea was, why they never fired again.
The enemy is securing Zone Atlas.
Yes, Zone Atlas is getting captured by the temporary rain. And we have some more shipwreckers coming out of here. Will they be joined by the temporary rain's remaining shipwreckers? Or Sunburn Block 2? Height of Lionel getting into position. Sunburn's coming around from over here. Sarisa already taking out one of them. They're actually not going into the right direction here, are they? Oh no, they're okay. They're now in the terminal stage. But the point defenses on the Slide of Lionel too good. It seems like these missiles won't find their mark there. Yeah, the amount of point defense on this ship is really impressive. Sarisa's, the walls, and then also some Auroras. This is not gonna get overwhelmed. That's 4 Auroras watching this side of the ship. And yeah, once more, Blacklight and Avnod with these really one-sided ships, as you can see. Like, if you ever catch this ship from the other side, it's dead. This ship is only supposed to show its right side, as this is where all the point defense sits. If this ship ever gets flanked from behind, from the other side, it is pretty much dead, as it doesn't have anything on this side. But they really maneuvered well this game, and point defense on that one side are really, really good. And the beams and the guns are hunting down the Cozy Ghost. A lot of shells here flying out, and the enemy is out of missiles, down to 2 Sunburns here. So this game, well, let's make it 4 Sunburns. 4 Sunburns and 12 Gestures are the last remaining missiles here. But you're not gonna really overwhelm this ship with missiles. Well, Temporary Rain might be able to hit it from up top, but we are already at 820 points to only 450, so you would basically need to stop the enemy from ticking at this stage to win the game. And that is not gonna happen, everyone. Sad news, but this is really not gonna happen here. Yeah, Temporary Rain now under fire as well. Should go down. And the blue team is surrendering. Avalon tries to play it out, but yeah, there is really not much that these ships can do about these 2 battleships. One of the battleships had to die. The first missile salvo against them was pretty successful, but it was not good enough. And I wonder what happened to this heavy cruiser? Why it was able to fire 3 of these missiles and then not continue? Because I feel like taking out the Dawnbringer might have allowed for a bit more play then. Once more, if you would have been able to reduce the enemy to 1 unkillable battleship, you could have outmaneuvered them maybe. But it's not what happened. Somehow the remaining 3 Block 3 missiles never made it out of their silos on board of the Cozy Ghost. And now it's dead in the water. So yeah, GG. VP. Congratulations to Blacklight and Avnod winning it this time. As their battleships did really, really well. Dawnbringer, especially Slide of Lionel. Missile defense only supposedly being terrible. Yeah, the stats have to maybe be reworked a bit. And the ship warfare, they did pretty well. Engineers doing quite well as well. They didn't deal too much damage, but that's because the enemy ships weren't supposed to fight on the front line. And over here, the Dawnbringer did enough amount of damage to really matter. Well, the light cruiser on the other side did pretty well. the heavy cruiser. Not quite well enough to change the outcome here. Yes. Yeah, eliminating these two within the first 3 minutes of the game was an immense advantage for the red team, but they were not quite able to bring it home here. So, back again is doing it once more here. GGVP. Yeah, it was a really good game. Yeah, the last remaining missiles were too many. And I don't know why did the last 3 missiles not go out onto the Dawnbringer? Like, you had 3 more missiles on the Cozy Ghost. Oh, 6 more missiles before it came around. And I was wondering why you didn't fire them earlier. Then you fired 3 that actually hit their mark, actually really damaged the Dawnbringer quite heavily. And then the remaining 3 never made it out. Like, I was a bit surprised by that. 3 CTC. What happened there?